A very good evening to you all. In today's summary, one person has been hospitalized and a family has been evacuated following a forest fire in the mountainous area of Font-Azor-Bissetan-Pralais. The fire broke out around 4 this afternoon, and according to witnesses, the fire appears to be spreading further up the mountain. Firefighters initially faced difficulties reaching the area due to the challenging terrain and are still battling the blaze. There is growing concern that the fire may spread toward the mountainous region of Grand-Anse in the direction of the Glacis Noir Nature Trail. Meanwhile, the ministry responsible for environment has issued an urgent call for volunteers with firefighting training to assist. Volunteers in the Consolation area are being asked to assist the firefighting efforts at Font-Ferdinand, and those coming from Bissetan-Pralais are advised to meet at the Glacis Noir Tower, bringing machetes, a chainsaw, and their own safety equipment. Artificial intelligence, AI, is set to be introduced as a new tool in Seychelles' education system by the Ministry of Education and Human Resources Development. The initiative will be implemented in collaboration with the World Bank, which is already supporting similar programs in several countries. The minister responsible for education, David Pierre, stated that the integration of AI aims to enhance the overall quality of learning. Representing the World Bank, senior economist Martin De Simone explained that the success of this project will depend entirely on the active involvement of the teachers as they remain central to the teaching process. Teachers from several primary schools will take part in the pilot phase of the project, including those from Anse-au-Pin, Au-Cap, Bissetan-Pralais, Grand-Anse, Mahé, La Misère, and La Retraite.
When we deploy tools with careful support from teachers and alignment with the best pedagogical principles and an implementation model that is adapted to the realities of each country, that's when that ideal of increased learning outcomes can be achieved. And that's why it's important that all the teachers that are here in the room today are really the pioneers of this effort, because with the recent emergence of artificial intelligence, we still have a lot to learn. And that's why we're not just launching two different initiatives here, we're also launching a process to learn what works better in Seychelles in particular, with broader implications.
Still in education, the Office of the President has today announced the appointment of members to the Education Reform Council. The council will be chaired by Dr. Justin Zelim, and the vice chairman is Mr. Jean Alcindor. The Education Reform Council comprises of 7 other members, and its mandate is to provide strategic leadership and policy guidance for education reforms, beginning with early childhood and primary education and extending to secondary education. In addition, its role will be to develop the reform roadmap, guide curriculum, assessment, and pedagogical changes, promote innovation and future-ready skills, strengthen coherence across the education system, and also ensure that reforms are inclusive, evidence-based, sustainable, and aligned with national development priorities. Furthermore, the Council will also oversee implementation progress, engage stakeholders, and provide recommendations to the Cabinet of Ministers on the proposed structure and rollout of reforms. The Council has been appointed for a period of 5 years. Members of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee are continuing their hearings into the Auditor General's 2024 report, with today marking the third day of proceedings. The sessions are highlighting growing concerns over financial management and accountability across several government bodies.
The first entity to appear before the committee was the Registration Division within the Legal Affairs Department. Members raised concerns about weak financial controls and problems with reconciling accounts, as well as difficulties in collecting debts, which the report says have increased by 21.2 million rupees. The Seychelles Defense Forces also appeared before the committee. Discussions focused on two main issues, including a payment of 1.1 million rupees for the procurement of fish. The Auditor General report noted that although there is a contract, it is not clear who the supplier is or how much money was paid. In another session, the Ministry of Education was also questioned. Auditors pointed out that there is no proper establishment list, making it hard to confirm the number of staff. There were also concerns about unreliable monthly payroll checks, high annual leave balances, and weak asset management. The National Assembly's FPAC is expected to continue its hearings tomorrow as it works to improve accountability in the use of public funds.
Childcare assistants from different daycare centers received certificates of participation for their valuable contribution in turning recycled materials into valuable learning tools. It is designed to introduce young children to early mathematical concepts such as counting, sorting, patterns, and shapes, all through play. And these innovative teaching resources are being shown in an exhibition called From Waste to Wonders, promoting both early childhood development and environmental awareness, proving that simple, low-cost materials can create meaningful learning experiences. And this event is a part of the Sustainable Development Project in collaboration with UNESCO and IECD.
I am deeply impressed by the incredible participations and creations of the Daycare Center, promoting a whole institutional shared vision for sustainable development. May I take this opportunity to urge other care centers, daycare centers, and other institutions to join us in promoting education for sustainable development principles. Together, we are building bridges between education and sustainability, between theory and practice, and between our islands and the global community of learners committed to our planet's future. Together, let's transform education through education for sustainable development to secure a sustainable future.
To end, President Patrick Emini will hold a press conference with all media outlets in Seychelles tomorrow, Thursday the 7th of May at 5 p.m. and this will be the head of state's